The show is about to start. Places. The show is about to start. You have to show a look, have a look, or give a look. Faces. Beautiful. No one ugly allowed. Are you ready? Here we go. Fashion is the art. Designers are the gods. Models play the part of angels in the dark. Which one of you would ever dare to go against? That beauty is a trade and everyone is paid. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? New York, London, Paris, Milan, Tokyo. I think it's in Japan. Asia, Malaysia, Las Vegas to play. LA, if you pay my way. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista.
Well, good evening, everyone out there in Facebook land. It is your girl, Morgan, the queen. So nice they named her thrice, but also your self-proclaimed anchor of excellence. And I love and adore that you're enjoying joining me tonight, as well as I have a doll for you tonight. And I'm so excited to chit chat with her. She is fabulous, fierce, and I know you're going to love her as much as I do. But I just want to give a quick shout out to my sister, Anya Marino, who is your reigning Miss Gay America Femme 2026. She's doing a fabulous reign thus far. She already captured a couple queens with crowns, and I know that the season is just going off without a hitch for the Femme division. But without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in and bring in a fabulous queen for you, but a fabulous human being as well. And I can't wait to just deep dive in and get to know her a little bit more. Now, please make sure as you're joining, hit that share button. The more people we bring in, the more people we have fall in love with the America system, as much as your girl, Morgan does, as well as make sure you hit those comments, because I'll be keeping an eye out for you. If you have any questions, please just share, and I will make sure that the questions get asked. But without further ado, enough about me. Let's bring on who we all came here to get to know a little bit more. We have your reigning for just a little bit while longer, the Miss Gay Gulf Coast America Femme 2025, Rosalind Aphrodite Alexander. Hello, doll. How are you?
Hello. Good. How's it going?
Come on. Excellent. Good. Come on, trippy backdrop. I'm there with you right now, especially
good
with
vibes.
Curly here. Yes, I had to think 4 more times about how to say your full title and your name, because it is just it's a novel. It's a novel.
Yeah, it is. I just work here. Yeah, like
Listen,
Yeah.
and thank you so much for joining me tonight in my
Yeah.
little podcast called Let's Get Down to Excellence, where I just can't wait to deep dive and get to know you a little bit more. So why don't you just take a second and say hello to everybody out there, because people are watching and I know they're going to be hitting the comments. So please ask questions for Roslyn, because we are an open book and we'll ask some questions. And so why don't you just tell them a little about yourself and maybe where you're from originally?
Yeah. Hello, my name is Roslyn Aphrodite Alexander, but I go by Roslyn both ways. Some of my close friends call me Rosie. My family calls me Rose. Yeah, that's that. We'll get into that in a second. But I'm from the New Orleans area. I was born in Metairie, and then after Katrina, we moved up to the North Shore, and I went to high school and everything up there, elementary school, and then was always in the New Orleans area because I have family who are on like this side of Lake Pontchartrain. So I've been kind of just in this general vicinity of like the greater New Orleans area for basically my whole life. Yeah.
I love that. So what's it like growing up in New Orleans? Just out of, I mean, I know it's not just the
Yeah.
major city of New Orleans. I do get that. But like, what is it different down south and everything?
So I didn't really do much like New Orleans-y, like because I grew up in Slidell, so my parents were very like, all right, like go to school, do your thing. I did band and was like committed to that and was very just in that. And didn't really have a lot of free time, was playing saxophone and clarinet, and then the middle school happened and yeah, that
So,
then
life took over. So your life took over.
yeah. Then I started to like have a concept of like, oh, I'm a real person, and it just started to like branch out, and all kind of stuff went down. Yeah.
So let's start like at the beginning. So as growing up, was it just you, or are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
So I have a younger sister, and she's 2 years. Yeah, she's 2 years younger than me. And we were like thick as thieves. Like we were like bestie friends. And then we hit like sort of a little rough patch when my parents split. I was like 12 when that happened, and it was kind of like it was very not we didn't like pick sides, but like it was definitely like yeah, it was very a little separated, but now we're bestie friends. So yeah, I also have 4 step siblings now on with my dad and his new wife. So
your
yeah.
father had 4 more children afterwards.
So I think I don't know if like he has like fully like adopt that the whole process, but he remarried, and then she also is like with him. So
got it. Well, in my mind, I'm thinking like he had like more children. Like
no.
I was like,
yeah, it's just us two. I don't think the world can handle more of. My dad's name is Tommy, and I don't think they can handle more of Tommy's kids. Yeah.
So it sounds like you were in band a lot. So was that like more of like band on stage, like as far as playing the saxophone, or was it like marching band and that whole thing?
So it was. It was concert band, and then when I had the opportunity, I actually joined color guard in high school. Well, junior high to high school, that gap of like picking what I want to do, because I was also doing choir, and I was like, I don't want to play any instruments, and I wanted to dance when I was younger, but then that was just it. Like growing up as like a little queer kid in like Southern Louisiana, like my parents like they didn't want me to get like picked on and like bullied, and they were like we just want you to be you, but like as safe as possible. And so when I had the opportunity to do color guard instead of like just playing an instrument, that's where I was like absolutely like once I got to high school. Yeah,
I was just curious because I know like because my brother used to be in swing flag, I guess is how he taught, where like you would do the flag. And is that what color guard is as well? I want to just make sure I'm understanding.
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar. I ended up doing like a very, very, very competitive version of it, but it's basically like if you see a marching band, it's the kids with the flags and the rifles and the sabers and all that, and it combines like dance and technique with like throwing the equipment and stuff like that. Yeah.
Please forgive me, but do you do like talents or like
so
numbers?
I for a while, because I don't know why my brain does this, but like parts of my life are very segmented. Like I'm like, okay, like because a lot of that was pre like transition and pre accepting like of my full truth, and a
Mhm.
lot of the people now like love and accept me, but there was situations where like I couldn't necessarily live like as my authentic self while still actively participating like throughout high school and then also after when I was in like the highly competitive version. So a lot of it like for a while I was like, hey, I don't do that anymore. Like I moved on. Like even at the beginning stages of like my transition, I was still doing color guard, and it was people were chill, but they were like behind closed doors, not
That
the
was my next
most.
question. That was my next question. Like, what was that experience like? Because you are taking a chance on yourself by
Yeah.
living that truth with out in the open, being a part of something that you're on a field or you're in an arena where people are watching you now in
Yeah.
color guard. And what was that like? And you were saying like more people were kind, like nice to you in the
Yeah. And
face.
well, because it's like for I guess in the little pocket of like where I like came from adolescence into like adulthood has been like gay is okay and like or more normalized, but then a lot of people still were not comfortable or knowledgeable on like even what like being trans like really is. Like they were still kind of, you know, in Project Runway, Christian Siriano, the like the hot like can I like use this the T slur here on the pod?
What?
What
The what?
the T slur?
What's the T slur? Just say it and
Or
then we'll see. We'll
so
find
yeah,
out. I
hot,
don't know.
Christian Siriano would say like a hot tranny mess, and they would
Okay.
use that as like just and not actually trying to be like transphobic or ignorant on purpose, but it was just kind of like, oh girl, like you look a mess essentially, and
Yeah.
it just made an environment of like, oh, like maybe like I should not like because I don't, you know, it was very not super aware or knowledgeable enough for them to be like, okay, like this is cool. You not, you know what I mean? Like,
I do. I do. I
yeah,
just, I just, what I also take away from it is that I respect and love the fact that no matter what was going on around you, you were still doing yourself. And it sounds
yeah,
like you have a great support system from your family,
yeah,
whether it be, hey, we want you to do your thing, but we want you to be safe too. So let's kind of
yeah,
like figure out what that looks like, which I think is huge because not everyone gets that. And I think that's great for
yeah,
Roslyn, being Roslyn, obviously, but
yeah,
like to be able to allow yourself to start looking within yourself of who you are as a person and a human being and allow that to flourish as well, which is why we get to see and know and love who you are today.
yeah.
So aside from band and color guard, what were you doing as a kid? Like before we get into the college years, we'll say, but
Yeah.
like, what were you like, what were you into? Like, were you into comics? Were you into sports
So
at
I was
all?
like a huge nerd. No sports. I'm good. I'm good. I am more sporty and like, you know, all of that now. But I was like a little nerd watching Doctor Who and Supernatural, and I
Yes.
really loved X-Men. And then when I was like little, there was a video store down the street from my house that eventually became a Blockbuster, which now no longer exists.
If you know, you know. If you know Blockbuster,
Yeah.
you know.
But as like a little kid, like I would walk down the horror aisle and like would like fixate on like different like tapes to like watch. And it was like right in the in between of like VHS and DVD. So I was like, I need this. Like, and I would bring it to my mom and she would be like, maybe not this one, but you can pick out a different one. Cause like obviously like I was like probably like 10 or not or like
Picking
too
the
young to be
glorious.
watching.
Yeah.
Like, there's this one
Yeah.
movie, I think it's called Bats, and I like fixated on it. And every time we went, and eventually I ended up watching it. I think I was like 13, because you know, I moved on and grew up and whatever. And I was 13 and I watched it. I was like, there's no reason why I couldn't have watched this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But mom was just doing her job.
Oh
Mom was
yeah,
doing her
yeah.
job. Love you, mom. Well, that's cool. So then so you were in the middle school and stuff, so and high school, and you kind of went through all that, and then did you go to college?
I did. I did a semester at UL,
Okay.
University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and I was a dance major. And then I quickly was like, I don't, I don't feel like I need to go to because I was going to be a dance teacher and I was going to continue to teach color guard, and be in that performance space. This was before I found drag for me, but was still engaging in like drag and was going to like the gay bars in Lafayette, with the one, but
In college, right? You were
yeah, in
going to school.
college.
Yeah, yeah.
And wait, I just lost my train of thought.
And I did that. So I jumped in. That was my fault. But you were saying how because I had asked you, I forgot my
Oh,
train of thought.
college. Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah.
Yes, college. We're in college, and
Um,
you're
yeah, I
doing
went
this.
to a semester at UL, and that was a really cool experience. But I was it was right before I came out as trans, so I was in like this weird like bubble of like self doubt and not really knowing what I wanted to do. And then I decided I was like, I don't need to like get a degree to do what I want. And then I found drag, and I was like, oh, like this is where it's at. It combines all of the things that I like loved about performing and creativity and everything. And it was like and it was also my chance to express like femininity in a more realized way, than just like day-to-day stuff. Like I got to like express like this larger than life thing, so it really helped me find where that was. But it's really funny because my first exposure to drag was like old school like 90s like transsexual showgirl, like continental, like all of like the
Mhm.
girls, the dolls. And when I
Love
first
all.
started drag, I was like a browless, like monster weirdo. And I was like, I don't do pageants, like blah, blah, blah. And like, look at me now.
Yeah.
But
Hello.
yeah,
Hello.
I found drag in that space of like dropping out of college essentially. And then I just kind of took off and I started to like do my thing.
So when you started, and it was at the one single bar that was
Yeah,
in.
Bowl. It used to be called Bowl.
Lafayette, right?
It's now called the Library, and it's in downtown Lafayette. And it was in a different location, um, but that was like my little safe haven. And I actually all of the girls there are like America girls, so I got to like witness and see like, oh, like these are the Louisiana like America girls, like Santana, A Savage. Woo, she and Kenley Andrews, she no longer performs, but like those two girls, and also Roxy, she competed with me for Femme, Gulf Coast Femme last
Yes.
year, and getting to see those three girls like in their like prime, like doing their best and being like excellent, like that really, I was like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna be that one day, but I need to be this like little alt weirdo for like a little while longer, like
Well, but
yeah,
I feel like you still are your true
a little
self.
alt weirdo, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I didn't say that. I didn't
No,
say
I
anything.
am though. I
But no,
fully am.
I live. I live. So when you started performing,
Hmm.
one was your performer name Rosalind Aphrodite Alexander, or
No,
did you start off with something
no.
like a beginning name?
I've been through a couple of different names. It used to be Soleil, which is like French for the sun, because I was very like esoteric, like and all that, and then it was Soleil Blanc because I there's this movie called Suspiria. It's my favorite movie ever. It combines like witchcraft and like dance and everything, and the original is fantastic, but the remake is like this like bleak, dreary, cold vibe. But there's this like really cool dance piece in it, and Tilda Swinton plays the lead and two other characters at the same time. And her last name in the film is Blanc. And I was like, oh yeah, like let me bring that in. And
Wow.
then Roslyn came about because I was just going by Rose outside. Like after I came out as trans, I was like, hey, like this is my tea, like everything. Um, and eventually, a friend of mine, his name is Chaz, and his full name is Chasden. But he was like, oh well, if Chaz is short for Chasden, like what is Rose short for? Roslyn. And I was like
Right.
all the things went off.
Everything
Yeah,
happened. Yeah. I
yeah.
love
And
it.
so it was we're still going. There's a couple more changes.
Yeah,
It
I love it. Listen, it's an
yeah,
evolution of fabulousness. I live.
yeah,
So go
yeah.
ahead. Please
It
continue.
kept
Yeah.
kept Blanc, and then I was like, well, like if Roslyn is this like strength that I have, or like my drag is my strength, like let that be just an extension of like my femininity and my performance experience, and so that's kind of where it became Rosalind Blanc, and then Aphrodite came in because like the goddess of love, sex, and beauty, and I figured out how to like put on pasties, so I was like rocking that for a minute. And then I was adopted into the there. It's a whole thing, yeah.
And
But
then you
then
were
I got
adopted
adopted the
and then
Alexander family, yeah,
I
and here
love
we
it.
are.
Come on, Alexander family. Hello,
Yes.
fam. I have to really quickly give a shout out
Yeah.
to Sasha Lee Chambers because she came in and she goes, twins. And I'm like, yes. I usually don't pull over. And I'm like, yeah, because I could see it. I said, look how fabulous we look today.
Yeah.
I love that I live. But anyway, thank you for pointing out how
Yeah.
beautiful we are. So what is your so there's so many questions that I want to answer
Yeah.
right now. So you just gave me so many layers to this onion. So what is your inspo for? Let's start with beginning stages of performing and stuff. What was your inspiration? And it sounds like you definitely have a different vibe. Like, and for the pasties and stuff like that, what were you like? What was your vibe?
So, at the beginning, I was very influenced by Drag Race, and I got to watch Sasha Velour go through her thing, and then I like, with unlimited access to the internet, I like went and deep dived like every consumable performance of hers because I was already watching like the Continental Girls on YouTube, and so I like knew like what that looked like, but I had never seen like the
Alternative.
artsy like, and so I was like, oh, like I want to do that, and that was really what was an influence because I was like I've always been a dancer, like I was flexible, so I knew I could do that, but like getting to like be that little like edgy, like at least like makeup wise, and some of the numbers were more conceptual, definitely have more of that concept realized now, but that was like the beginning stages, and then like with the pasties and all the everything, like I was like, okay, cool, like I can like be a showgirl, and that really was just like goddess energy. Like obviously Sasha Colby is like
You said
yeah, that
two good names, girl. You said two good names in this.
yeah,
Two
yeah,
good
and just seeing like Mimi Marks, and there's like a whole list. Mocha Montrese, she competed for Femme previously, and baby, like that is like
well,
yeah.
baby, you're up on that tier too,
Oh
girl.
no, yeah.
I see you. I see, and everybody else sees you as well.
Yeah.
Well, fabulous. So then what got you into the pageantry system? And I know that you were saying like there's a lot of inspos from Continental, and
Mhm.
we could even talk about like why not Continental right now? Why not? Or did you compete for Continental? And now what's up? Because I know that the Femme division came out, and here we are. So what was your
Yeah.
inspo?
So, that has always been like the goal, Continental, like just from like seeing it as like a 17-year-old on like YouTube, and but the American system specifically, when Femme came around, I was like, oh, like these girls that I've like grown with in the like at least in Louisiana, and like I work with Ivy damn near like 4 days a week. Like so seeing, all of the Louisiana America girls, and then getting to be around Ivy through her process and like dancing and her talent, and also I've backup dance and did color guard for Dex. So like being around it all, I was like, okay, cool, like this is not necessarily like my space, not in a bad way, but like it's just I wasn't eligible. And then when Femme came out, I was like, oh, like I can be in this sisterhood and be at this level of excellence, and actually do it, like, and not just be like adjacent to.
Sure.
And Ivy was really the one who gave me the push to do Femme, because I was like, because I had done a US of A regional, not knowing it was a US of A regional. Because
She
Ivy
probably
was like,
wanted sure.
me? No, I was. I actually got told that it wasn't the system for me. That I needed to go to EOY because
Understood.
I brought what I had from brunch, and I had like this mesh gown and a corset, and I was like, girl, it's just a bar pageant, like come do it, like it's fine. And I show up and I see Chevelle and Portia, Chevelle Brooks and Portia Paris, and I was like, oh, I don't have anything else with me, like I'm about to get shredded. Like, so getting to actually like choose to, like, I'm doing Gulf Coast America Femme, like I'm preparing for this, and I'm like, this is what I want to present, like super cool. Like it, I don't know, like getting to be in the, I guess, similar pathways as other people I've been around who have competed for America or and even won, you know, like,
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
that's like,
100%. So I just want to do a quick reminder for the
mhm.
viewers at home. Please hit that share button. The more people we bring in, the more people we have fall in love with your girl Morgan, or with the America system, as much as Morgan
Yeah.
and Rosalind Jim as well. I mean, obviously, and fall in love with us as well because we're twinning and winning tonight.
Yeah.
But I do want to just kind of touch in about you coming out as trans,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also I would like to talk a little bit about. We could even start with femme and what femme means, because for someone watching maybe for the first time may understand what feminine is, but what femme truly means, and I would love for you to kind of speak on that.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna touch on the like what femme means for
I know
me.
I gave you a couple
Yeah.
things. You
It's
go,
like
girl.
multiple. Yeah. For me, femme is like a state of being, not necessarily like a one thing or another thing. It's like you kind of just are, and if you it's how you feel, how you like move through the world, like the energy that you hold. Like I think everyone can like have femininity, and let me not mix up my words. For me, just femme is like a, I don't know, like a connection to some kind of like higher, like I don't want to say divine feminine because that's a whole other thing, but
Sure.
like this elevated sense of like just, I don't know, like the showgirl energy, or like this intangible, like, oh, like that's femme. Like you just kind of feel it, you know? For me, at least.
100%. Do you mind
Yeah.
if you dip into divine femininity? Is that
Yeah. For me, it's just like a connection to like, I'm not a very religious person, didn't grow up with religion or anything, but for me, the connection to like a divine feminine is like the source, if you want to call that, or whatever energy is like that feeling of just like like it's so
I know
for me.
we hit it hot. We hit it hot. We hit it
Yeah.
hot with a good question.
Um.
I just feel because what I learned, not to, and I do not want to speak for you at all,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I just felt because when I had the opportunity to be at nationals this past year, and just being amongst, I like it. It's like my sorority sisters in a way,
Yeah.
because there was such a good handful of femme contestants this year underneath Naomi's reign, and I was able to continuously ask each one of you different questions and get to know you a little bit more personally than I
Yeah.
did with the America contestants, because there was just so many. So
Yeah.
that was special to me as well. But I kept asking each one of the contestants what femme meant, because I noticed that every time I said, "How do you feel after your number? How do you feel after this moment?" And everyone, without a question, kept saying, "I feel femme." And
Yeah.
so what I felt from that is, because you said it perfectly, it's like that space that you're in and the energy that's around you that makes you feel, I feel like that I'm getting from you all is like feminine, like where people see you as
Yeah.
your feminine
Yeah.
self. And I just it made me feel so like honored to be a part of a space where the America system created, or
Yeah.
just kind of put out there on a stage in a national way, that girls can come out and be their authentic self and feel that way,
Yeah.
no questions asked.
Yeah. I think that's like the authenticity is like where that kind of meets from the like ethereal stuff to like the real. Yeah, like the feeling of like complete like authenticity of like, I guess, oh, specifically like when I competed with my talent, like that was like a bearing of like my full like everything. And
Mhm.
for me, like that met that space of like almost like complete like authenticity. Like obviously like we're in drag and like in everything, but like it is like a bearing of like, I guess, someone's like identity. Like you see me for like everything. That's where that space is for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we kind of dip into a little bit about, or as much as you want to talk about,
Yeah.
coming out as trans, and just kind of what that experience was like, and kind of where you're
Mhm.
at now in your journey, if that's okay.
Yeah. When so I'll start when I like first came out, because I was like a very flamboyant little like a little gay boy growing up, and I didn't like really feel like I had to come out to my dad because like it just kind of was like when my parents split. I didn't really spend a lot of time with my mom, so she was supportive, but like obviously not so much in the picture.
Mhm.
But my dad, like that was like to me like, at that point in time, like I was like, oh, like he doesn't get it, but like in retrospect, like he was like my biggest cheerleader, and like he totally like saw me for like a queer femme like just kid. And he actually, I was on the way to a color guard rehearsal and he was dropping me off and he was like, so like what, like are you gay, like how
Yeah,
do I like what
Dad. Jump
like.
in, Dad.
And I obviously like was like like did not want to engage because I was like scared, because you think, oh, like that's my dad, like we have to da 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 and be your son, or like this
For
idea.
sure.
But he really just like wanted to know how to love me as much as he could in the way that would be safe, like protect me from like what to do. He like needed to learn not learn. He needed to know how to parent me the right way for him to know that, or for me to know that he like loved me unconditionally.
Right.
I think that's
Right.
what it was. Like, because now, like, he comes to my shows, like, he's gonna be at my give up. It's he's like, that's my dad. He's a bestie friend. He's
Mhm.
a dad.
Yeah.
But
My mouth, my heart, my love tank is full hearing that. Like it
yeah,
really
it's
is.
I'm really lucky. Yeah, I'm very lucky.
I'm gonna say it like that, and you are, because there's
Yeah.
so many children out there that don't have that, and don't have, and it's alarming. And that's what, like,
Yeah.
my charity, it's called Nurse Morgan Helps. Now, I'm not
Hmm.
plugging it, but maybe I am a little bit, because I created it because it was for at-risk youth, for the LGBTQIA plus
Yeah.
community, because there are so many children that don't have opportunities like myself or you. I mean,
Hmm.
we all have our trials and
Yeah.
tribulations as well, but having a good, decent building block with family that helps support somewhat, even somewhat of a journey to get to
Yeah.
where you are. Some don't have that, and so, like I said, and I will always talk about it, because if I don't talk about it, these kids are getting forgotten, and there's so many
Right.
kids that need the help. So, but
Yeah.
I digress. So at first, did you come out as gay, and
Yeah.
then?
I eventually was like, yeah, I'm gay, like, all that stuff, but was still like playing in makeup and doing that thing, that like sneaking the girly stuff. Or like I bought a wig on Amazon when I was like 16. And which that doesn't obviously equate to like womanhood, but like
No, I understand, but it's
I
still,
was like,
it's very.
yeah, it was, I felt that like sneak, and he very clearly knew that I like had ordered a wig off of Amazon. Like it was our
Yeah,
family, like yeah.
yeah,
Um
yeah, it's Amazon
and
Prime, honey.
Right. And so I just like was not. I also didn't know how he would respond to that, because I, even at that point, like there wasn't a lot of like discourse
Mhm.
about. It's similar to like why I didn't necessarily feel comfortable in the color guard world of like coming out as trans, because I knew like I didn't necessarily have like the full language to express it like how I needed to, but I knew what it was and I knew who I was. And I just was worried that he would react poorly. But then it's so funny because I told him that I was trans. I think I was like 17 in a Wendy's parking lot, and was like, Dad, like, here's this, like, yeah, broke it down for him. And he was like, okay, cool. You're still my kid. Like, and that was like this. And I'm so incredibly grateful, because that experience like just made me realize that like no matter what, like unconditional love like from him.
Mhm.
It wasn't until later though that I like came out, because I actually like didn't end up like socially transitioning or anything, because my dad didn't want any medical stuff going on, which that's a different
Sure.
conversation.
Yeah.
But he was like, just wait till you're 18, and it's because you're still a kid. And but that's his perspective. um
And that's
but
what, and that's great, and that's okay, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody has different
Yeah.
perspectives, and everyone's journeys are different. We'll just leave it there for.
Correct. Yeah. And it wasn't until I was 19 that I publicly came out as trans. I was with my boyfriend at the time, and he kind of knew um, what it was, because I was not. the most. You can obviously you can be femme and like not be a trans woman, but like I was, it was you the closet was made out of glass. Let's just say that. Like it was
Yeah.
very,
You can,
yeah,
yeah,
and
very transparent. You,
it,
but you know who helped create that transparency? Whether deep down, your parents did.
oh yeah,
Is
yeah,
what I'm feeling, and that's
yeah.
awesome. So,
Very much was like just my dad's philosophy is very like take no shit, do no harm.
mhm.
And that is like kind of where I operate in, because it's like if you're not hurting anybody, like live your life and be authentic and be you. And obviously it goes, there's a lot more nuance to that, but for him to instill that in me, like as a kid and as a young person, like
Mhm.
it really allowed me to like be authentically who I was.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I came out publicly just with a Facebook post and I was like, this is what it is. And if you don't like it, like, but, and I thought I was like doing something. Everybody was like, duh. Like, like,
Well,
yeah. And it was,
isn't that usually how that goes?
yeah, yeah. But then
Um,
from there, just, led to here.
yeah. So what is that? So just kind of for people that are listening, what is that?
Yeah.
What was that journey like for you as far as the actual transitioning? Like, there's a layer of, the we'll just say the emotional, psychological part when you're coming out and
Mhm.
allowing yourself to put your voice out there to speak your truth. But then there's also the physical part or
Mhm.
the hormones and things like that. What was that like for you? And where are you at in that journey now? If it's okay for you, or if you don't
Yeah.
mind sharing.
Yeah, that's fine. I was not on hormones, and then for like a year after I like publicly came out, and then I got on Moans in 2023 and was going through like a community center in Lafayette, and there were some issues with like that community center, and I finished out my I was, it was like a year. Yeah, and then also my doctor like quit her job randomly, didn't say anything, and I like went to like book another like 3 month like
Yeah.
and they were like, hey, like so she no longer works here. We can route you through another thing, and so I just kind of stopped, and then life got very turbulent. And then I'm not on hormones now. I
Okay.
want to get back on them, but everybody's my journey is a slower one, which I
And
live.
that's
Yeah.
and that's your journey, and that's okay. Just as long as you're just doing you, and that's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
So speaking about doing you, so you were at
Yeah.
nationals this year. Not to kind of transition the conversation, but
Right.
I mean, obviously we can continue to talk
Yeah.
as much as you want. But so at nationals, what was it like for you? And I just please refresh my memory. This was your
Mhm.
first year at national or second year?
This was my first year competing for Femme. I had been to Miss Gay America.
Right.
Um, to I think Ivy was the third time because I backup danced for Dex the year that Pattaya won, and then the year that Dex won, and then I came back and back up for Ivy. So that was
Mhm.
technically my fourth experience at nationals for Miss Gay America, but it was my first year competing. Yeah.
Yeah. I do have to ask a quick question about
Yeah. Yeah.
Ivy's talent because obviously it was something so different that
Uh-huh.
America hasn't seen before. And I feel like somewhat you have a little, not that specific style, but that's kind of like a little bit of a vibe I get from you and like, pictures that we see on social
Hmm.
media of you, like that fabulous photo shoot that you had. Oh my gosh, I can't even anymore with that red. Oh, but what was it like being a dancer for that number? Because there was definitely a
Oh,
good
cool.
squad of people. It was a
Yeah.
squad of people, and it just was like, not only was it cool, but I felt like everybody was just so in tune with each other that
Yeah.
it just was so fluid. It was like just watching the water move back and
Yeah.
forth. It was just
So
really
that d- so I got to see the sprouting of the tree that talent was, because Ivy, that's one of Ivy, or it was one of Ivy's numbers that she would do on the Freaky Friday show at Oz. And that's
mm,
where like I kind of like got my like jumping off point into the New Orleans, or at least in Oz, and where my career started to like, um started to blossom.
flourish.
But I got to see her do that number at Oz in a scaled down version of it, and got to see it grow. And then when she asked me to be in the number, I was like, absolutely. Like, how cool is that to like be in this like swampy, spooky, like witchy New Orleans, like Louisiana, like witch talent at like Miss Gay
Yeah.
America. Like, it was so cool. And
Yes.
all of the dancers, we're close friends. We've all either worked together, we know each other, we're in the same scenes. Like, you know, we just,
It was a
it's
squad.
community.
It was a
Yeah.
squad. It was a
Yeah.
squad that like you just wow. It was just cool to watch.
Yeah.
So
And that's when it came to my talent this year, that's kind of like how it was. Like, it was I think three of the dancers were in, or four dancers were in Ivy's talent. And then I was like, well, like, we already know how to move with each other. We know like who, like, there's no like we have to learn how to dance together. Like, it's, you know, which
you
is
already weren't you?
fine. But like, we already had that, you know, connection, and yeah, super cool to it be homegrown.
Yeah. So for those who maybe didn't get to see your talent this year, do you
Mhm.
want to talk about your inspiration and kind of what your talent was?
Yeah. So it was a number I did on Freaky Friday. I had a really, really, really serious foot injury, which it could have been worse, but I had a really bad case of turf toe, which is like the tendon that connects your big toe to the rest of your foot gets like all like
Mango. Yeah.
whacked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't really wear like thigh highs or like traditional heels. So I was like, or dance really. So I had to get creative, and I wanted to be like super vulnerable, because the space that Freaky Fridays is like a very, you can do you authenticity. Um, and it started, I was naked and bald, just in like vinyl boat tape, like no hair on, just like taped and all kind of kooky. And it was supposed to be like a representation of my vulnerability and my connection with my mom. And it kind of sprouted from there. I had done it for my regional for Gulf Coast, and that was a different story, but it was a similar like, this is me on stage, like, this is my expression of self. And then at nationals, it was a fully realized version of the two, like at Freaky Friday, and my dancers represented different pieces of my identity throughout my life. And it also, the song is called Oh Superman, and it's about war and just kind of like, what's the word is escaping me, like dystopian stuff, like just
Yeah.
living in a space which is very accurate to what's going on right now, at least for the queer community, and just in the world.
Yeah.
Like, but it was kind of like this like bearing of the self, and how I saw myself, and how I saw how I move through the world, and the connections I have with people. And it was like a very layered thing that turned out to be a really beautiful
Awesome
piece.
number. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Amazing. So, I mean, we obviously knew we were going to spill over time because I just adore
Yeah.
chatting with you. But I kind of want to just like quickly, because I do want to talk about your step down
Yeah.
just for in just a moment. But I kind of want to also just want to get to the basics of what makes Rosalind tick. Meaning, like, what do you
Yeah.
like to do for fun right now? Like, what's your go-to things? Like, what do you do for fun for when you have your own downtime?
Yeah. I really like spending time with my drag family. I spend probably like 4 or 5 days out of the week with my daughter Bozo, and I get to see one of my other daughters in Baton Rouge, infrequently, but like FaceTime is always cool. I just like hanging out, chilling, because I exert a lot of like energy doing like I work like 4 or 5 nights a week, sometimes a little more. So I exert a lot of like that social battery, and also physically I'm tired. Like, I'm tired.
Is performing your main job, or
Yeah,
do you have
yeah,
other stuff?
I'm a full-time entertainer. That's been
Got it.
4 years now. Yeah.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Do you find that as you're performing it as being your full-time giggy, do you do like hair, or do you sew, or do you like those kind of things? Or are you just committed to the craft of what you're putting out on stage?
So I've like dabbled. I know how to turn on a machine and put the presser foot down and run it through.
Yeah.
I am by no means a seamstress, and I know how to tease hair and smooth it. And that's the extent. A lot of
Hey,
my
baby.
right, like, look, I know how to fix a piece if it gets messed up, but a lot of it is just the actual storytelling of it.
Mhm.
That's where I find my a lot of times it's just not just, but it is like girl, go out there and twirl. Do
Mhm.
the dance number and twirl and make some money. But when I do get to like put like more concept into my performance, that's where I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is my job, but like it's also still that like
Yeah.
art that I
Yeah.
was trying to do at the beginning of my career.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So where you live now, do you have a roommate? Do you have a partner? Do you have like what's going on with
I
that?
live in New Orleans and like probably like 15 minutes outside of the French Quarter.
Okay.
And I do have one roommate and I am incredibly single. And that's good. That's good. I have had boy drama and
Okay. Maybe we need to skip a beat. Skip a beat for that. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Yeah, but
Totally.
yeah.
That's
I'm
cool.
I'm I'm happy. Yeah.
Do you do a lot in then the French Quarter because you're like really close to there? It's such a different world down there. And I
Yeah.
say down there because I'm up north in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, but it's just a different vibe down there, it was so much fun when I was there.
It's very cool as a visitor. I get very bored if someone's
Mhm.
like, yeah, let's go to the like if my family comes from out of town, they're like, let's go to the quarter. I'm like, to do what? Go to my job and then go home. Like like
You're right though. You are right.
right.
Or
And
go see haunted houses and then
right. Well, and I I'm not like a negative person, but like if I'm having to drive in the quarter and there's like a cloud of tourists, like I'm good. I'm good. Y'all can go home.
I get
Please,
that.
please go home.
Oh,
I'm trying to
okay.
park to where I can go play in a wig and flip around on stage. Like, get out the
Make a
way.
couple
Like,
coins, couple coins. And I love,
yeah.
by the way, just to give a little shout out, I love Oz. I love
Oh
that space
yeah,
so much. It's just a really cool venue to be
yeah,
a part of. And just everyone that runs the ship there is just awesome.
yeah.
So let's talk a little bit quickly about your step down. So you
Yes.
have step down coming up. How many contestants do you have?
I believe there's 4 for the Miss Division, and we have 5 now for Femme, which is really, really cute. Because there was, I think, 3 last year for Miss, and it was me and Roxy last year for Femme. And I am very excited. My goal, I didn't have city prelims, and I really would love that experience because I like to connect and I like to you know, get to know the
Network.
girls.
Yeah.
And one of my goals was to make sure it didn't end with me, or like it didn't like what I wanted to
No,
continue
the legacy
to
continues.
yeah,
100%.
and
Yeah.
it's super cool to see that like people are like coming to it. And my promoter Nash is like one of the coolest people. He's a really good friend, and getting to know him outside of like a promoter work vibe was nice before going in to the regional. Yeah.
Do you
But
have
I'm
a
very
theme?
excited.
Do you have a
Yes.
theme?
The
What's
theme
your
is au
theme?
natural, so it's like nude vibes. If you feel exposed, like bare, that kind of thing, which is very on brand with like I love to be naked, but I also I like the authenticity of it. That's
Sure.
the exposure of self, and that's kind of what I wanted to give with my give up.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm just so excited to see all the pictures, videos
Yeah,
galore. It
yeah,
sounds like it's going to be a pageant, which is great in both aspects of the Miss as well as Femme.
yeah, yeah.
And so Femme is on this Friday. And where is that going to be held?
It's at Cafe Istanbul. The pageant starts at 7. Registration is at 8:30 in the morning.
Can,
So
can Morgan, can, if somebody were watching right now and they're like, I would love to do that, and they could put a package together in minutes, are you still open for contestants, or are you locked?
yes. As of this morning, I talked with Nash, my promoter, and he said that he's going to keep registration open until morning of, just because we keep getting more interest and questions, and we just want to keep it open to where people can come and get their ticket or even just have the experience of like competing.
And
Yeah,
that's fabulous. And good
I
job,
would love to
Nash.
have eight or nine people for each, for Miss and Femme. I think that would be lovely. Like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
we'll put that energy out there. And if
yeah.
somebody wanted to, is tickets at the door? Can they buy tickets online?
I believe it's tickets at the door. That's a Nash
Hit up
question.
Nash. Hit up Nash,
Yeah.
everybody. Hit up
So
Nash.
Nash, CJ Nash on Facebook. You can message him or you can message me, and I will relay your questions or anything to
Yes.
Nash. Yeah.
So, but just please come out and support the dolls
Yeah. Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
division, everybody. So what's in store for Roslyn? Like, where are you competing again next year? Am I allowed to ask that question?
So
Or do you have other journeys on your future?
I want to work on my transition, at least medically, before I go back, which I felt completely like loved and accepted just for my own personal, I guess, journey and like how I would like to present myself. I just want to be a little further along with some of the things that I want to get done instead of, where I'm at now, which I love where I'm at now. It just, for the future, I would like to compete and not have to worry about those things internally. Yeah.
Understood. I completely
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, and you know what? I just wish you all the best with that because it just
Yeah.
sounds, but it sounds like you just are so rooted within yourself, and it's
I
just
try to be.
it's refreshing to hear it. It is refreshing
Yeah.
to hear it, and I do feel that vibe from you. So thank you for sharing and being so open and transparent
Yeah.
with me and everybody watching. Hello,
The
everybody.
whole world.
The world, because this is an international, honey, international
Wake it up. Wake it up.
podcast. So I have two more questions for you, and then I'll let you go enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah.
But my first question is, because we are approaching your pageant, and you're going to have 5, if not more, contestants. After experiencing nationals and reigning as the Miss Gay Gulf Coast America Femme 2025, what is your advice that you want to give to your contestants before going into the pageant on Friday?
I think I would just have to say, bring your authentic self. Like, that's kind of what we have really been talking about this whole this whole time. Is I want to see your perspective. I want to see people's like full, like, this is who I am, this is what I want to achieve tonight, like, and with the next year. And I don't know, like, just bring fully yourself, because that's where I found the most joy in the process of, like, okay, like that's me on stage. Like, that sounds so hippy dippy, but like going back and watching the videos, like, everything, I was like, that's what I wanted to present. That's who I was in that moment for the preparation of it. And it's refreshing to see authenticity. Not that it's not common, but like,
I know
that's
exactly
just
what you're saying.
authenticity.
I think whatever, and not to please, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but
Yeah.
I also, because it's correct. And I think that's what's beautiful about the America system right now. Not that it wasn't before, but, branching out and having Esquire division, having Femme,
Yeah.
and just allowing all these divisions to come about, that people can be their authentic self. And I feel like they're not, judges or whomever, or promoters or whatever, are not looking for that cookie cutter answer. They're looking for you to be yourself, because they want to make sure that America is the right fit for you. And it's not the other way around. And I just think that's so special. And I just think that's something that definitely stands out as a national pageant system. So, yeah, no, thank you. And then, now, in true Morgan, I think I said 3, fashion, on my Fabulous podcast, I always like to ask my guests that come on what their meaning of excellence is, because I find that meaning of excellence is different for everyone. And I would love to hear Rosalind's meaning of excellence. Yes.
Trying to get the words.
Yes, in question and answer.
Right.
Give it up for contestant and the one and only Miss Rosalind Aphrodite Alexander.
To me, my definition of excellence is authenticity and intention set on a specific, like, end goal of what you present. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't, like, It doesn't have to be this mold of whatever. As long as you are putting your full everything into it and you are checking off your personal boxes and outside of like the American system for excellence, like checking off your personal like boxes and putting full intent into everything you do, to me that's excellence. Like
Yeah.
if your H to T if it looks different for you and somebody else, as long as your H to T is on for you, to me that is excellence. Like yeah, like the head to toe of everything. Like yeah.
It took me a minute. It took me a minute to be
Yeah.
Let me just think. No, but I got you. And that's fabulous. And that is correct.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's fierce. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I
course.
knew we were going to chat double
Yeah.
tap. I just adore you so much. And I just look forward to seeing all the accolades that you're going to get at your step down. And I know it's going to be a great patch.
Yeah.
And so please
I'm
post,
probably
post,
gonna
post.
cry.
You know what? That's a good
Yeah.
emotion. That's your heart on your sleeve, and just enjoying and just immersing yourself in that experience and that
Yeah.
time that's about you. And I look forward to all your new adventures. I look forward to some more fabulous photos of you on social media. So please, everyone that's watching, please follow Rosalind Aphrodite Alexander on all the medias.
Yeah.
And,
on all of them, I think, except like Twitter. That
is Rosalind Aphrodite Alexander.
yes,
Twitter,
it's
not Twitter.
anyway. No, yeah, it's Rosalind Aphrodite Alexander. That's 1 L 2 N's for Rosalind. And then, you know, if you don't know how to spell Alexander, we're on the internet. Figure it out.
We need to figure that out. You need to figure that out. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And normally I would just bid you adieu and then say goodbye to everybody home. But this is all about you as well. So if you could just give me a thunderous goodbye to everybody, and then we'll just close out. All right. Thank you again for joining.
Bye.
Bye.